Hello and good morning. First off, I'd like to say I need the support of every common, just regular old person in America. Because what I'm about to say, as you'll find out, will not allow me to have corporate donations. Warren Buffett, that's right, the big man Warren Buffett, owns a majority of the Wells Fargo Corporation and its subsidiaries. One of his arms as a system, and that's the way he keeps his other companies working, is he has $1 billion per day. He is the money launderer. It's currently going to Nairobi, Kenya. I can show it to you. I can show you how he does it with derivatives and false classifications, and it's collateral fraud is what he is doing. He does not just, they're talking about the way we're being confused by the Murdoch and the NBC corporations is that they're trying to tell us that all this money and fraud was because we borrowed $100,000 more on our house than what it was worth. No. Then they would take that loan and multiply it by 10, put it into the market, sell it to the bank in France as if it was real, and then they would take a derivative insurance policy out on it and then take that a multiplier factor because they know it's no good. So then they get to play both sides times 10. It's the only way this money in this bubble has been created. It is not real. Do not fear. We have ample homes, ample food, and ample for the world. This is why I'm on today. Not because Warren Buffett is putting fraudulent money into Kenya. Nah, it's how do we catch him? I believe right now there are ships loaded with grain and metals of wealth that are heading to Somalia. Yes, I believe we will be able to find much wealth in those grain ships that are about ready to depart or en route to Somalia. That is where the only place they are allowed to ship uninspected ships today. There's no question they will hide their wealth in plain sight. And we know plain sight is Somalia because of the grain famine. These people were hustled and ran. They were like driven like cattle. And I was always wondering why they just weren't slaughtered or captured like normal, because the action isn't Somali. It's like, wow, what's going on? I figure it's because the King and Queen of England, William and his wife, who went off coast. That's where they wanted to settle down, so they wanted to clear out some land for them. So that's fine. But now I see it's the whole group's coming. They're all going to Somalia, and the wealth is on those ships. So if you happen to be able to get me a sample, a video, please a sample. I have found coltan and other samples from my good friends. So thanks to everybody who supports me. Share this message the way we share, in love and blessings. Because there's physical violence from my physical government thugs. We all know that there's trillions and trillions of dollars that went to Nairobi, Kenya, or are en route to Somalia. That's where it is, my friend. The financial coup d'etat has not happened. They have not been successful. Hugo Chavez, my brother, good luck in finding your 99 tons back from the Queen. You always wonder what she does. And by the way, the Bilderberg Group, the Bohemian Grove, the Rothschilds, whatever the 1997 that are left, they manage money in a different way than we do. They have their own system, like the Bakshi system that they try to close in. There's a different way of talking. There's other kind of money moving machines. But the Roman Catholics and the Zion Navy, there's no doubt they're in charge. Or they might just be minions. Well, they don't follow rules, my friend. So a World Constitution Convention is no doubt going to happen. Because there's just some few basic things we ask for. And one is common law. That's number one. We don't want whiskey law. We don't want sherry law. We don't want cherie law. I sure don't want no Roman justice. They've had 2,000 years and more. No thanks. Zion law, and it's in charge of a state, and we're giving them billions of dollars to a state that's ran by a religion, and this country says separation of church and state. So Zion law needs to come off of Israel so the Semites can be happy. There's no way a Semite can be happy under a law that is fraudulent. So let's go to common law worldwide. Fishing vessels should have a limit of port range. So on their fishing vessel, they got their Chinese, American, Portuguese, Azores. Hey, if you're in the Azores, you get 100 miles all the way around you. If you're in a port on China, you only get a radius of 100 miles because you can't fish on land. And let's stop these fishing vessels from going around the world and fishing in other people's waters. The Sea Shepherds have pretty much said, let's let the whales go, let's let the other animals have a chance. And if we want the world to have a chance, we'll turn the sewer lines around and pump them inland. If America wants to do it and elect me president, one of the very first jobs I will do is San Diego and Los Angeles have had EPA exemptions for 3 years. 5-year EPA exemptions provided by the California Coastal Commission from the Federal Clean Water Act to pump billions and billions of gallons, 1 billion gallons every other day. They pump into the Pacific Ocean. Over this 15 years, they basically filled the Pacific Ocean with sewage water. Warm. Oh, by the way, it's dramatically warmer than the water it's going into. And we're talking about global warming, and we got to worry about putting some gas into the air that if it is hot, it'll just keep right on going. But when we put hot water into the oceans, it just doesn't keep right on going. It actually heats the ocean. Huh? Well, let's take our sewage water out. Provide jobs. We have iron ore, the best iron ore in the world, and Detroit right now is falling apart. Come on. These inner city, Baltimore, you want fraud and corruption in Washington, D.C., look at Baltimore. Look at Washington, D.C. If that doesn't prove that place is not fair. I believe our founding fathers asked for it to be out in the open. I got a few acres, got 1 kilometer by a half kilometer out there in Akron, Colorado. It's a high plateau. I've offered it. The World Constitution Convention. It's setting up. It's got a highway access road. Permitted buildings. You get thrown in jail. It's really hard to go against the Bilderberg group. Been jailed multiple times. Never charged. Always just released. Come on, folks. Wake up. We got to say no to this Bilderberg group. So, number one, we want common law, Mr. Bilderberg. Bohemian Grove, Rothschild Jr. I never did know your name. But you are the violent thugs in the world. We all agree to that. You are the violent thugs. Worry about our fishing rights. Take our sewage water out. That's a good start. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Bring our military home. Put them in these vacant houses that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have. Those are fraudulent companies. They've already went bankrupt. The federal government owns them. We, the people, own them. So we own the titles in them. And we have this enormous army overseas. 8 countries now? Bombing? Wow. Come on. We don't have to control everybody. Oh, my favorite was Libya today. One of the English people was on saying, oh yeah, when we liberate their oil, there's no way China, Brazil, or Russia is going to get any of it. It's like, oh, that's BRIC. Oh, S, South Africa. That's right, they joined. BRICS. They have all the minerals, the gold. They have platinum, palladium. They got natural gas and oil. Diamonds. I don't believe those 4 or 5 countries are going to require it. And if Libya was able to take 14 African countries off by themselves, well, you know that US dollar would be quite strong when you printed another trillion. What's QE3? Quantitative easing. No, we call it QE3. Isn't that cute? Oh, yeah. Well, the stock market went up when we heard of QE3. Yeah, when you double the amount of money, stocks can double. Woohoo! Anyway, it's all being set up, my friends. Wake up. Smell the roses. The birds escape. They can't put us back. So there's 1,997 of them left. Either they can join us, get out of the way, but our country is happy. It's just the government that is out of control. And the federal government has put in their finger or their leechness throughout the whole system. What's funny is if you're like at the SEC, No, you're from one of the failed companies that they worked on. Because you guys had, relationships, and then when they lost their job, oh heck, we'll just take you on in our place. Wow, we don't take the best and the brightest in this country. No way, we are fraud. We are a fraudulent country. Do not believe anything that comes from an American. I'm telling you, the people around here, CIA, at Ames, Iowa, where I ran for president and received 162 write-in votes at minimum, plus coming in 9 of 12 candidates. 2 of the candidates on the ballot were lower than my write-in candidacy. And they wouldn't allow me to have a speech. I couldn't talk. I had to stand in one little... I didn't have to. I chose to stand in the spot where they sold the tickets. I'm no fool. Handed out my brochures. Let's party. Clean street heroin. And my army's giving fertilizer to the Afghan opium grower. Woohoo! Now we have 90% of the world opium coming to Afghanistan instead of 10. Oh yeah, now we got a good market coming to America. Oh yeah. Oh man, bless me, bless the world. Oh, this is a great time. Because we are now dealing opium for the whole world. Russia's a little pissed off at it. They don't want all this free opium basically coming into Russia, but it's coming. Anyway, there's only a few demands. Common law. Let's get it started. Get the sewage water popped out. And then let's get our fish and fisheries back going again. Our forest clean. Our military must come home. Go into our vacant houses. Suspend the McDonald's builder code. What a fraudulent tool that is. We know it's all written by corporations. We're just going to go back to the basics of common law. Constitutional convention is time. It is a world one. Tunisia is begging. Laughing, hearing that we got to take Libya down because there's no infrastructure like in Egypt. The army runs it. They torture 100 people in each day. All their citizens are tortured, and we encourage that because there's a system in place. Where if we have all these small tribes, how are we going to control the oil? Compressed natural gas. It's already here. Get out of the way, Bohemians. Your money's going to Somalia and Kenya. We got you. I have sent enough people today that you better surrender. We'll work with you.